Hey guys, what's up? It's OMG Teggy here. In today's video, we're going to be going over all the money that I have put in my car. Now, I got this idea from another YouTuber. His name is Myton Films. You guys should go check him out. He has a pretty cool Integra page. He's doing a pretty cool engine build right now. But that's where I got this idea from. So anyways, in today's video, like I said, we're going to be going over everything that I've bought for my car, repairs, exterior, interior, everything like that. So let's go ahead and start off with the repairs. Alright, so the most recent repair that I've done is obviously the oil pan. Now, it would have been a little bit more money if I brought it to a shop, but I ended up doing it myself, and I got that done for somewhere around $100. Now, before that, I had a couple other problems with the car as well. I had to replace the cap and rotor, and I also got a valve adjustment. Now, I was going to do the cap and rotor by myself, but the way it was set up, I just didn't want to deal with it. Honestly, it's not that hard, but at that point in time, I was sick of having all this misfire happening in my engine, so I ended up taking it to a shop and I got a valve adjustment as well, and also an oil change, new spark plugs and stuff like that. So that costed me somewhere around 300 bucks for that repair, so it wasn't too bad. It would have been a lot cheaper if I did it myself though. But moving on, we also had the radiator. Now, the radiator was blown straight when I bought this car. Now, I knew that when I bought the car, so that's why I talked him down a little bit. So that cost me 300 bucks for that as well. Now, I also had to buy like a little pipe because it broke a couple weeks later after I replaced the radiator, because I didn't end up replacing the pipes. So I had to replace the pipe. That was probably only like 20 bucks. So that wasn't too big of a deal. So overall, the radiator and the pipe was $320. Now, I also did my brakes by myself, and altogether that was probably about $125. And the last thing we have for repairs are the hatchback struts. Now, that thing is super heavy without the help with those little hydraulic struts in the back, so I had to go ahead and replace those, and that was probably around 60 bucks. Not too bad, but it had to be done. Now, so far, just totaling up all of the repairs, we have $905. So that's a lot of money in repairs for a car that I only spent $2,300 on, but that's fine, because it has been about like a year since I've owned the car anyways. But let's go ahead and move on into some of the interior mods. So I used to actually have a shift knob in here. I took it off though because it got really bad and the paint was chipping, and it was a really crappy shift knob, and I was planning on making my own shift knob, but I never really got to it. So that's definitely something that is planned for the future. But that was probably only like 10 bucks, so that's not even really included in total, but I'll just go ahead and throw it in there. Now, I also did my fog lights. I know that's an exterior mod, but I just had to put that on the interior too because there's a little switch in here, you know what I mean? So that was about 60 bucks altogether with the fog lights and the shift knob, so not too expensive. I already had the fog lights on, I just had to wire them up, and that cost me probably around $40 to $50 right there. Now, up next, we have the energy hub and the quick release assembly. Now, I think I got the energy hub for about $70 and the quick release for about $35. So, you know, somewhere around 100 bucks. I went ahead and went with the energy hub because the guy was trying to sell me one, but if I got that one, literally the steering wheel would probably be like back here. Like, it would be really pushed out, and I do not like that. So I did not get that one, and it was kind of cheaply made anyways. It was like 35 bucks or something. So I just went ahead, spent the extra money, and got the energy hub. Now, the quick release, I don't think that really matters in my opinion. I mean, they both work the same way. They both have little ball bearings inside that hold it together. So I went ahead and went with the cheap one because that one was only like $35 like I said. And then moving on, we have the steering wheels. Now, steering wheels, I have this one. This one was like 25 bucks, and the other one I got for like 30-ish, $35, probably around there. So the quick release assembly with the quick release, the hub and the quick release was probably 100 bucks, and then the steering wheels were probably somewhere around 60 bucks altogether. So 25 for this one and 35 for the other one, and this one was cheaper, but it definitely, I do like it better. Now, moving on into some of the sound system, I have new speakers in here. It was about 70 bucks for the speakers, so it wasn't too bad. It was 35 bucks a set. So they're not the best speakers, but they do sound pretty good, honestly. So I've only installed the front ones, believe it or not, because the back ones are such a pain to get to. You have to take out like all the back seats. I know they have like little panels you could pop off, but still it's hard to get in there, and you have to kind of, you know, move it around and stuff. So I've never gotten around to doing that. I probably will sometime in the future. or I'll just end up selling the other speakers. So if I get around to it, I'll do it, but if not, I'll probably just end up selling them. But that brings me on into the next thing. We have the sub in the back. It's an 8-inch JL Audio W7. And I bought it from my friend used for about $150, so it wasn't too bad. And it is a pretty good quality sub. It is only 8 inches, but it definitely does rattle this all around the car. Like, this thing goes crazy if I have it turned up all the way. And yeah, so I mean, it's a great sub. It was $150, and then I was gonna install it myself, but that's when I didn't know too much about cars or anything like that, so I ended up just bringing it to a shop. So I got an amp and an installation with all the wires and stuff like that for about $300, so $450 total to put the sub in my car. So that's pretty much for all the interior mods, and that leaves us off for $730 for all the mods that I've done in here. Obviously, the majority goes towards the sound system. Alright, so moving on into the exterior mods here. This is probably where the majority of the money is. Now, I'm just going to go over a brief history of my car. So it used to be red, and here's a picture on the screen right now. Honestly, I kind of do miss that. Like, that, just the clean look, honestly. That's when I first bought my car. I brought it up to the top of that hill, took a picture, and I honestly just kind of miss that color, but I do like the blue. Maybe eventually I'll go back to the red sometime, but it just brings me back, honestly. And then I'll just throw another video in here as well. We were doing a little tray drifting in a parking lot, which was actually a lot of fun. Holy fuck, dude. But yeah, so maybe eventually I'll go back to red, but for now I'm with blue. So starting us off with the first mod on the outside was white plasti dip. Now, this had to be one of the worst ideas I've ever had. Honestly, we took this project on in the garage, in my garage, and I had 2 other friends helping me out, and it was absolutely terrible. I'll put some pictures on the screen right now. Pictures of the car look good. They look good. They don't look great. I'm not going to say they look great, but it definitely makes the car look a lot better than how it looked in real life. Now, funny story though, just real quick, is that the day after I painted my car, some guy ran into my car in the parking lot. So that sucked, but honestly, that just gave us more incentive to peel off the plasti dip. So probably a month or 2 later, we ended up peeling off the plasti dip. Biggest pain in the ass. There's still probably plasti dip on here. You can still see some white marks, which is annoying. But yeah, plasti dip was probably, give or take, probably around $200 to plasti dip my whole car with all the materials and everything like that. So that was a big waste of money, and when I look back, I'm just so glad my car's not white like that again. Now, moving on, obviously the vinyl wrap. I've went over this a couple times. I've spent probably around $350 to $350 to $400 on vinyl wrap and materials. So it is a pretty good, cheap alternative to paint. Mine doesn't look too bad. Now, I'm not saying mine's like professional or anything. There is definitely some areas where I slipped up, like the bumpers, and some, I don't know, there's a place where like the clear coat kind of shows through because it was peeling before. So yeah, so it was around $350 for the vinyl wrap, and I think it was definitely worth the money, and I'll probably end up wrapping it again in the future and just take my time this time and not rush too much. But yeah, so $350 for that. Now we also have the TriPower Spoiler. I bought that off of Amazon. I think it's a Spec D one, and it was around $95, so we'll just go ahead and round up to $100 with shipping and tax and everything like that. Now, rims and tires, this is a big part. I'm gonna go ahead and say $900. Now, the rims were, I think, $107 each, so you know, that's almost like $430-ish, somewhere around there. So that's $430, and then the tires were $400 and something, including road hazards. So I'm just gonna go ahead and round up to $900. But this is definitely one of the more expensive mods I've put on my car. Something I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I actually really do like it. And I'm gonna keep these rims for quite a while. I think they do look pretty good, especially with the tires. So yeah, that was about $900 for that. Tire letters were $60, like I explained in my other video. So yeah, not really too impressed with those, honestly, but I still have 4 more. So if I ever want to take my car to, I don't know, some sort of car show or something, maybe I'll strap the new ones on. But That is basically it. The only thing else I could think about is my old rims had tons and tons of plastic dip on it. They were black, they were white, they were bronze, they were white again, they were black again. They were just all different kinds of colors. Honestly, I spent so much money trying to figure out which color I liked on the plastic dip rims, and I think I had bronze for quite a while, and then I moved back to black, and now I'm at black right now since they're not plastic dipped. But honestly, with that, I probably spent like 70 bucks just plastic dipping my rims, screwing around like that. So let's go ahead. I'm gonna read you guys off the subtotal. This is absolutely ridiculous. So out of all the mods and repairs I've done to my car so far, this is just some mods. This isn't plus the price of the car. This is just the mods. So just with the mods, we're at $3,315. Now, I'm sure I left a little bit of like small things out like that, but honestly, $3,315 is a lot of money. Now, I'm kind of glad I sat down and did this math because it gives me a good idea of why, or like what I'm doing with all this money. Where'd all the money go, you know? Because sometimes I just check my bank account and I'm like, wow, all this money is gone. But anyways, moving on to the final price with the car. So I bought the car for $2,350, and so that plus all the mods is $5,665. So we're pretty close to $6,000, guys, on this Integra. So that is kind of crazy in my opinion. But yeah, that's how much I spent on my car. I know this video was kind of dragged out, but honestly, I just wanted to go over everything thoroughly and show you guys everything that I've done to my car so far. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Many more videos to come in the future. Now, I know I've kind of been slacking. It's probably been only like 1 a week lately. I'm going to try to bump it up to 2. But yeah, so like I said, if you guys aren't already, click that subscribe button. Much more videos to come. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in my next video, guys. Peace out.